Hey guys, it's Austin Hall back. Today I want to talk about getting into 3-gun. It's going to be a quick video running over the things you need to get at a bare minimum to get into 3-gun, have a lot of fun, and do it safely. So, you see a lot of gear, you see a lot of talk about go fast gear, anything from 45-degree offset sights on your rifle, red dots on pistols, all that kind of stuff, even to the shoes that we're wearing. So, all that kind of stuff can get clouded and a bunch of BS. I want to talk about the bare minimum you need that you probably have laying around anyway. You need to get started in 3-gun. So first we're going to go over the guns. Something simple like this. This is a Glock 19. This one is set up as a carry gun or as a defensive gun. It's got Trijicon HD sights, has a little bit of a trigger job, and I stippled this one at home. Something very simple to do. It just adds a little bit of grip to the gun. Other than that, this thing is bone stock. This is all you need to get started. Decent set of sights and a decent trigger on any gun. A SIG, a 226, anything like that. A Glock, a 19, a 17, a 22, something like that. Springfield XD. Especially a lot of those police officers out there, bring your duty gun, bring your duty kit. A lot of departments will more than encourage you to bring out your duty gear and shoot in a different scenario that's forcing you to think and use the gear that you carry every day. So, pistol. To the rifle, something semi-automatic, whether it be an AR, an FN FAL, or an FN SCAR, Tavor, something like that. This is an AR set up pretty standard. It's got an ambidextrous safety selector, but that's about it. Stock trigger, muzzle brake, free float handguard. This one has a fixed 4-power optic, but it's nothing special. There's no high-speed throw levers and 45-degree offset sights and 2.5-pound triggers, nothing like that, nothing like that I would have on a competition gun. This is something that I keep around. This is my dad's gun, and this is what we go out and we shoot at the range. Something like this. You probably already have one of these laying around. If not, borrow one from a buddy. Alright. After that, you've got the shotgun. This is a pumped 12-gauge shotgun. The Benelli Supernova, but there's tons of them out there. Remington 870, Mossberg 500, Mossberg 550, whatever you have. This one, the only thing not stock about it is it's got a long extension tube. I put that on there just because I wanted to have that extra capacity. But there's nothing wrong with running a 5+1 or a 4+1 capacity. A lot of those extended Mossbergs will have 8-in-1 capacities anyway, and that's all you need. Alright, so along with the guns, you're going to need some simple stuff to keep them running. A couple of decent magazines per gun, obviously, if it's a magazine-fed gun, and then simple things. A couple of magazine pouches. These ones are awesome. These ones are from Blade Tech. The best thing about these ones are they just slip onto the belt. You don't have to worry about wearing some full big belt rig or anything like that. For your pistol, the most important thing is having a decent holster. They're not that much money, 20, 30, 40 bucks, which most of us already have for our handguns anyway, especially if we do any sort of tactical training. If you have a retention holster, great. If you don't, you don't need one. Go to the gun shop and get yourself a holster, whatever it may be. This one's from Safariland. It does have a little bit of retention, but it's, nothing crazy. It will hold the gun in, but you don't need some, $150 race holster. Make what you have work. Especially shooting your first or your second or your third match, you don't need to go out and spend a ton of money getting all this stuff. Then, those simple other things. Ammunition for each gun. Make sure your gun likes the ammo it's running. Usually, we all know how to do that anyway. Keep the guns up and maintained. Make sure your optics are zeroed if you're putting an optic on your rifle. Some matches will have you shoot slugs, so find a couple of different slugs that you like and that your gun likes to shoot. Simple things like that. But the most important thing is do a little bit of research. Go online, whether it be 3-Gun Nation or anything like that, and find those rules. Seek out the rules that you don't know that you need to know. Things like the basic weapon safety rules, which we all should know anyway. Treat, never keep, keep. Treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Never point your weapon at anything you not intend to shoot. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire, and keep your weapon unsafe until you intend to fire. Those 4 cardinal rules will keep you safe in pretty much darn any situation, especially when you're out shooting in competition. But there are those competition-specific rules, like the 180 rule. That's easy to look up, it's easy to find. I'm not going to try to explain it because I could sit here and run my mouth all day long about it, so I'm going to show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my bright blue gun here because this is a real gun. It is completely unloaded, but it's much easier to show you with a bright blue gun than it is with a black gun. So, if I'm shooting in front of me, perfectly fine. If I'm running, it's perfectly fine. If I need to turn this direction, that's okay as well. Turn this direction, whatever it may be. What I cannot do is advance forward and then shoot behind me. So in this situation, you can see behind me those plates. That would be well beyond the 180. If I was back there and I was shooting forward at those plates, that's awesome. But at this point, if I miss a target that was back there, I cannot turn around and shoot back there. Normally, there's going to be people behind you when you're shooting, whether scorekeeping, ROing, keeping you safe, or just the other shooters that are waiting their turn in line. So that one there is the cardinal rule for keeping us safe, the 180 rule. There's going to be other specific rules, range commands, things like standby, load and make ready, if you are finished, unload and show clear. Those are simple things that will help you very much. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a holster on. I'm going to show you a couple of those range commands. Alright, I got my holster and my gun on. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to step forward into my fake stage here. Let's say we're just going to be shooting the pistol. At this point, I'm going to step forward in my stage. My arrow is going to be behind me. At this point, I'm going to look around and say, wait for the command. Shooter, go ahead and load and make ready. I'm going to draw my pistol in a safe direction. I can do whatever I need to do. If I want to take a second, take a dry fire, shoot that nice well-aimed shot, go ahead and do it. I'm going to load my magazine, load my gun. Then if you want to go ahead and brass check your gun, do whatever you want. If you want to take your California, my nice 9-round magazine, I can put this one in my pocket and take a 10-round magazine, or I can just go ahead and keep my magazine, safely holster my gun, or I can put it down in the low ready, into the compressed ready, wherever the stage dictates that I start. At this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a nice deep breath. I'm going to look around my stage, remember my stage plan. I'm going to get into the starting position. Let's just say it's hands relaxed at sides. So I'm going to go ahead and get my starting position. Wait for the RO to say, shooter, are you ready? You're going to say, yes sir, I am. You're going to hear their command, stand by, or something like, shooter is ready, stand by. Then all I'm going to do is waiting for the beep. On that beep of the timer, the beep of the buzzer, I can go ahead and draw my pistol, present to the targets, shoot all those targets, defeat all those targets. I've run up, I've finished my stage, I've done whatever I needed to do. At this point, I'm going to finish. I'm going to get the command, shooter, if you are finished, unload and show clear. At this point, what I'm going to do, keeping the gun pointed in a safe direction, my finger off the trigger, I'm going to remove my magazine. Stick that back in your pocket or on your pistol pouch or whatever you want to do. Then I'm going to go ahead and clear the chamber out, make sure the gun's completely unloaded. So I racked my dummy round out. The gun's completely unloaded. I'm going to go ahead and show it to the RO. The RO is going to say, if clear, hammer down, and holster. I'm going to head and slide forward, hammer down. So on this gun, it's just going to pull the trigger. Then I'm going ahead and safely holster the gun, take my hands off the gun. I do not ever want to take this gun out of the holster when I'm not giving one of those commands. Similar thing with the rifle and the pistol, remove your magazine, lock the slide or the bolt to the rear, present that to the RO. With a long gun, usually I'm going to go ahead and then put a chamber flag in it, set the bolt forward on that chamber flag, and then go put it in the rack or back on the table or back in my case, whatever that situation is. Other than that, this range commands are pretty simple. Stop means stop. The RO has those last controls, and remember, the RO is there for your safety and the safety of everyone else around him. So, especially if it's your first match, ask the questions. For that range briefing or those stage briefings, if you have a question, stick your hand up in the air and ask it, or make yourself known. Say, hey, RO, whatever, whoever it is, this is going to be my first match, this is my second match. I'm a little nervous, can you help me walk through this? I'm just going to, or, hey man, I've noticed you're a pretty proficient shooter. Would you mind if if you gave me a few tips, if I shadowed you? If, I walked around and just looked at what you were doing, could I ask you why you're doing a few things? Things like that. 99.9% of the time, people are going to be more than happy to help you out. Whether that be just asking them a question, or if you need to borrow gear. I would be more than happy to help anyone out borrowing gear. You don't have a pistol magazine pouch, here, use this one. Just make sure I get it back at the end of the day. Things like that. It's very easy. Trust me, when I shot my very first match, I kind of jumped in. I drove all the way down. It was like 2 hours away, and I was nervous. I spent the night in a hotel the night before, and I barely slept. I got like maybe 4 hours of sleep. Woke up in the morning, got there way too early. Got there like an hour early. The range wasn't even open yet. The gate wasn't open yet. Got there, helped set everything up, and I'm sitting there just heart beating away. And who comes up first? Not me. I get picked very last to shoot in the shooting order. So the whole morning I'm waiting to shoot, waiting to shoot, and I was nervous. I finally get up there to shoot. My heart's beating out of my chest, and I have my rifle up. And as soon as that buzzer goes off, I just forget everything. I don't even know my name. I don't know how to shoot. Nothing like that. But I fought through it, and it was a massive learning experience. So just take it with a grain of salt. If it's your first, your second, or third match, just remember, be safe and have fun. That's the most important thing. You don't need to go out, spend all the money, and get all the gear just to go out and have it, try it once or twice. And then if you like it, then you can go ahead and step up into the building a custom rifle or getting a new pistol or customizing the things you have. You don't need to go out and jump into a brand new shotgun and a brand new rifle and a brand new pistol and a big old belt rig and all kinds of different stuff. A lot of this stuff, a lot of us already have, especially if we're shooters, hunters, police officers, military, things like that. We already have a lot of this gear that we can adapt to make it work. So what we've gone over today is a little bit about what the gear is I need to shoot, a little bit about the rules, a few specific things, and then a little bit about the mindset. Remember, having fun is the most important thing, only behind safety. Safety is the number one in any shooting sport, anything you usually do per your life. So have fun, be safe, and just go out and shoot. The more you shoot, the better you're going to get at it. The more or less you're going to get into it. The game is not for everyone. The sport is not for everyone. Shooting is not for everyone. But if you like it and you know you're going to be getting into it, there's more than enough people that are going to be willing and happy to help you out. So hopefully see you guys on the range soon. Hopefully this helped you guys out a little bit. Please let me know in the comments. Shoot me a message on Instagram or on Facebook or anything like that. I'd be more than happy to answer a few questions, talk about any of the gear I'm using, especially the new pistols I'm going to be using, anything like that. Got a couple of new rifles coming in, which is going to be really exciting. So if you have any questions, shoot me a message. I'd be more than willing to talk to any of you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys are going to have a great afternoon.